A lot of people would look at my lifestyle and see that it is quite a bit different than what most people do. What I do for a living is quite a bit different than what most people pick as a career path because it is really hard work and it does not pay well. What it lacks in monetary rewards, it more than makes up for in emotional rewards. And I have a great deal of satisfaction in teaching martial arts and in building community and all the stuff that comes with this job. But I don't just do martial arts. I also do dirty, nasty combatives, combative knife training, and a lot of what I've been training in the past few years has been based on the criminal use of knives. Not that I would use a knife like a criminal. However, I am trained in very streamlined, aggressive, and deceitful use of edged weapons and other weapons, of course. Why would I do that? Why would I want to know that stuff? Why would I devote my life to martial arts? Well, the answer isn't simple, but you need to understand that a few things in life have taught me that I am in charge of my own self-protection. I cannot afford to think that someone will come and rescue me because it's been my experience that there is no one who will rescue you if you're in a bad situation. The experiences I grew up with, first of all, growing up in a family that I never really felt safe or taken care of, no offense to my parents, but this is just me being honest, didn't leave me with a feeling of great security. And then there were things like my sister getting stalked for, I think, over a year. And, there were times when we chased whoever the hell it was that was stalking her away. And during those years, a couple of innocent young women lost their life to a piece of shit. And after he got arrested, my sister's stalking actually stopped. I cannot say whether he was the person who was stalking her, but when he went away, she never got followed again. Now, when that was going on, there was one time when that person was there outside of our house and we called the police. We were home alone. My parents were out and the police wouldn't come because they thought we were kids playing a joke. Now, this was in a time where there was no 911. You called the police line and you talked to someone actually at the RCMP headquarters or to an operator. The only way the police showed up was because my friend who was there called his mom and she called the police. Besides this, there were a lot of situations where I learned that it was up to me to keep myself safe. There was the time my cousin and a friend of ours and I were held in an apartment against our will by a group of freaks who were freebasing cocaine. Now, we did manage to talk our way out of the apartment. It took some good de-escalation skills to get through their addled brains, but we managed to get out and we never hung out with those guys again. So this was a lesson for me in picking your friends carefully. There are many other lessons that I learned. The importance of preemptive striking was shown to me the time I got knocked out by someone who was good at preemptive striking. My mouth was flapping, my gums were flapping, and I was digging myself in deep. And I didn't know that this guy would just go. He wouldn't do a bunch of dialogue. He wouldn't do a bunch of pushing and shoving while I was getting ready. He was already ready. I have waited for the police to show up 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and longer. You got to remember that this has nothing to do with police officers or their fault. I live in a community that is sparsely populated with a lot of area for those police officers to cover. So they can't just be at your beck and call. Also, one time, they didn't actually get the call from dispatch, which is in a community 6 hours from here. And more than that, actually, about 8 hours from here. It's in another part of British Columbia. Somehow, the 911 operator forgot to tell the actual officers to come to our situation. Eventually, the police did arrive, but in the end, I actually ended up finding the guy that was involved in the situation and talking him into coming to the RCMP headquarters with me. That may not have been the best choice on my part, but that's how it worked out. Anyway, these situations and more have taught me that it is up to myself to develop the skills, to develop the mindset, to protect myself. And I don't think life is getting any easier and our culture is getting any kinder. I think that self-defense skills and the ability to fight, the ability to be aware of what's going on around you, the ability to assert your boundaries strongly and having good boundaries are all important skills to have. However, in the end, your safety, your security is your responsibility.